Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing well. This is welcome to a love only read for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and I'm going to add in the 5th house placement. Those of you who know your natal charts, see what sign is on your 5th house, and definitely check out that as well, because that's where we that's what covers our passion and our connection within relationship. All right, so remember, the messages are general. Don't try to make them fit. If they don't, the energies can always be vice versa, right? It might not be your message this time, guys. Maybe I get you next time, okay? All right, so we're going to pull some Lenormand for crowning energy. Now, I am going to do a first full read for those of you who are in a committed or in a complicated situation where you guys are very actively in each other's energy fields. And then we're going to do a totally separate one for singles. Those of you who are single as a Kringle looking to mingle, I'm going to do that separate, okay? And I'm going to timestamp it below. So if you are single right now, you don't have to hang out for this one unless you want to. You might literally be in that weird in-between, complicated and single, you know. It's all different, right? You never know. Too many of us to like single in on one. I'd love to be able to do personal readings for everybody, but it's just not possible on this platform. Okay, so let's pull some. We'll pull 3 Lenormands to get a crowning message. I was not feeling that. Okay, those are the birds. The bird is about a message coming in, so some sort of message. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay, magnifying glass. So seeing something that you didn't see before, realizing something that you didn't realize before, that you never even thought of the importance of. And then we have, so that's this one, okay, card 44. And then we have card 20. This is the park. Okay, so this is about the need to be in public. This is emphasizing the need for public. So this could be if you're in a relationship and things are getting a little stagnant, you guys need to go out more. You need to figure out, even if you don't have money, figure out free things that you can do to just go out and just expand what you're doing. Just meet people, including other people in your life is going to end up enriching your home. Because then we got home, okay? And this has got, look, the open gate, right? And this is a very secure foundation. So this is actually a really beautiful card, and it's with this open gate. It's about welcoming in. So I do feel that those of you who are in relationships, so there are a couple of things here. Those of you who are in long-term relationships, this is about you guys maybe need to kick it up in the social scene a little bit. Maybe start socializing with more people, doing different things, maybe having people over your home. It's engaging with people more, because it's going to end up adding dimension and depth to your relationship, because maybe you're just not going out enough, and you don't want the sense of stagnation to set in. So that could be happening for a number of you. Those of you in a complicated situation, this can also indicate that if you are in something that was, for lack of a better term, maybe a little more discreet, how there is a need to actually bring the relationship more into the public sphere for there to be this firm foundation had in the relationship. So this idea of needing the public here in this space. And the microscope does mean not realizing up until this point how very important this missing element has been. Okay, and realizing that there is value in this. So I know a lot of people are homebodies, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, connection here I'm getting is really going to be a very positive thing for this relationship, for this connection. So it's seeing something that you didn't see before, having something to do with the public, and it's going to end up really nurturing and cultivating that metaphorical or literal 3D, it depends on what space you're in, home sector. Okay, so we're going to be pulling a Celtic cross spread with the vice versa tarot. And guys, I don't do reversals on these because they're already reversed. I'll show you a card for those of you who aren't familiar with these. I haven't used these in a while, since like 6 months, you know, a long time. But let me just show you one. Let me just show you a random one. All right, so we have the 4 of Cups energy here, right? So this is in the upright, and then that would be the reverse. So you see, it's a reversal already. So I feel like I'm giving the energy an opportunity to flip one way or the other if I want. So if I start reading upside down, it's too many reversals. I don't go for it. So if it comes out upside down, I'm going to turn it right side up. I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. And people say, I cheat. I don't really understand that, but okay. Okay. All right, let's pull the cards and then we'll talk. Get everything going here. I hope you guys are doing great today. Valentine's Day can be a beautiful time or a really painful time, depending on where we're at. So let's see what kind of nice messages we can get. But no matter what, you guys should be going out. Call now, make those plans now, because the restaurants get filled up quickly, right? All right, so as the foundation for the situation right now, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is a Jupiter energy. I really like this because this is a beautiful blessing. This is about luck and expansion, right? That's Jupiter, things being really in a very kind of benefic space for you. Things just going in a pretty good direction. And I'm just feeling kind of like underneath the foundation, you have these blessings that sort of want to just pop up. Does that make sense? They just want to pop up. And then we have the star, but we have the star in reverse. So I feel like there's this lack of healing, though, that's crossing this Jupiter energy. Because the star is all about healing and recognizing something in a different way. This is an Aquarius energy. And Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is all about doing things differently. And it's the ability to do things differently only through insight and emotion. So there's got to be a recognition here that things need to be done differently. So then it's not only about healing, but it's about recognizing that something needs to be done differently in order for this Jupiter energy to come to fruition in your life. Now, you're coming from a space of 8 of Cups, so this is walking away from something that was really not in your reality, was not working for you. This is a Jupiter and Gemini energy, and this is you really understanding that you have to walk away from whatever emotions you were feeling. Right? And it's not easy, right? I mean, and in this side, there is a Saturnian vibe and a Piscean vibe here on this side of the card. So it's about, needing to put in the hard work of ridding yourself, of getting out of a situation that you feel was very disappointing and unsettling for you. But you're doing it with a heavy heart. But notice that we have the sun and the moon, how it's, so you are moving into a more illuminated space, but it's with a heavy heart. And that was in your past. So it was the ending of something that you were recognizing was just not going to be able to work. I know that could just be, absolutely a cycle. I mean, it doesn't have to be, an end-all kind of thing, but this could absolutely just be the ending of a cycle. For those of you who are married forever, you haven't gone through a really, really tough spot, and knowing like, if I'm going to be in this, I have to be able to let that thing go, and I have to be able to move past it, But it's the challenge here is that in your attempt to move past something, the healing is just not happening. It's like this pain was there, this feeling of discomfort, this recognition of the toxicity, and they're just not being healing but yet you're trying to move forward in it, right? So you have to be careful with that, because in the crowning energy we have here and this is on this side, right? So that's the Knight of Swords, obviously. And then this is the reverse of that. So the reverse is either you feeling like that somebody's not being really honest with you, or that there's just not really good communication. They could be lying through omission. You not having all the information about something that's going on with your partner. So this could be something in another part of their life, or you vibing that they feel differently than they do, or some sort of maybe they actually told a lie or were very dishonest, and you're trying to really work through that at this point. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, but then this is a reverse card. This is the reverse side. So the Eight of Pentacles is the Apprentice. I love this energy because it's about building, okay? But what this is you getting really in touch with that inner child in you and remembering back what your original ideas of relationship were and connection, and what you really wanted to do once upon a time, and getting in touch with how did you think emotion should be shared in relationship and communication and physical connection? What did you always think about it? Because it's you realizing that you don't have it in the way that you would really like to in this connection. And that's got to be recognized, because without being recognized, it's going to kind of leave a hole in your heart, and not being able to have the connection that you really, really want. And yeah, absolutely, because then we have the Five of Pentacles. This is you right now, and this is about you not feeling supported in the way that you want and that you need, and that you think is right and relevant to the situation. But this is the kind of thing, though, where it's really because of lack of communication, because there really is support. I mean, look, it's like you're begging and you don't have any money and you're like lacking in support, right? You feel very alone. You don't feel recognized, but you're not turning around and seeing the stained glass window of the church. All you have to do is stand up and walk through the doors that are always open, and you could be warm and probably find somebody to give you a meal and give you whatever you need. But you're very focused on your lack rather than on what is there, right? And this is I'm getting where you're at right now in this connection, right now in the moment. And then we have the energy that's external to you. So this isn't you, this is external to you, is judgment. And this is in reverse. So this is about not fully seeing. This is first and foremost, this is a lack of forgiveness. And which is not surprising me, because we have the star reverse, which is about a lack of healing. So there's a lack of forgiveness here, but at the same time, there's a lack of recognition of your role in something. And I know you guys hate when I, say things like this, but, there is this lack of recognition as well on both sides when judgment is reversed like this, where in your mind, you're looking back on the way you've been in the relationship, and you're really not finding too many flaws with what you did. You feel like you showed up every day, every second, with integrity, doing the right thing, but you may not have. And chances are you may not have. But you're not ready to see that. You're not willing to see. You're just not seeing it. And it's not that there doesn't have to be malice attached to it, but you're just not seeing it. But the thing is, this idea, this lack of forgiveness, somebody is not forgiving you for something, you're not forgiving somebody else for something, and that's creating this lack of connection here. It's creating this lack of connection, guys. Wait, it was on that side. And in your fear, we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a Venus and Aquarius energy. So, this is about, and again, this is your fear. Your fear is that things are never going to be different, because Venus has to do with love and the connection and sense of self-love and self-worth and all of that. Aquarius is about doing things differently. So your fear is that things are not going to go on differently. And, you guys are having an argument. You're afraid to have the argument about it. You don't want to have the argument about how to do things differently. You just don't want to argue. You just don't want to argue, Virgo. I mean, I just feel it like, so sure, you just don't want to deal with it. Like, something has to happen that's different. Things need to be handled differently. But like, there's such a subjective approach to this from each of you that it ends up just being a battle of the truth about what you believe and what they believe, and nobody winning, right? But that's not real, right? This is not in the 3D. This is in your mind, because this is your fear. So you're afraid of this, but that fear is only going to end up serving as a block, right? Because then we have the Chariot card, right? So we have, this is in the reverse, and this is in the upright, and this is really beautiful because this is about you moving forward. So we have to pull some cards to get some information on how you guys are moving forward, because then we have the Empress energy in reverse, which is the mother of the tarot. This is all about forward movement, growth, and expansion. She's perpetually pregnant. So I have this forward movement in this Cancerian energy having to do with the Chariot, having to do moving towards this home space, moving towards this healthier place, right? Which is home, right? But then we have this lack of growth. And I can't help but feel pulled back down to this section of the reading, because I feel like there might be a little bit of self-sabotaging behavior going on here. Like, I don't know, is their ego getting in the way? Is there Because this is the thing I'm feeling. I just have to say this. I'm getting this very strong, just like these cards right here are telling me that what you need to feel supported and connected to your partner may not be what they believe you need to feel supported and connected to them. So your partner may be working through their own field of experience and what they believe to be true, not meaning anything malicious, not wanting to hurt you, not wanting to not be there for you, thinking that they're doing the right thing, but they're just not showing up in the way that you need. And you getting upset because you feeling that they should know what you need at this point. They should know what to do. But the bottom line is that's not how healthy relationships work, because we all have our own set of eyes and our own experiences, right? So there's always three entities in a relationship. There's always one individual, the other individual, and then the relationship itself. So in order to feed the relationship, we need to be able to climb out of our own little bubble, out of our own needs, out of our own ideas of what's right, wrong, or indifferent, and put ourselves in the other person's shoes and try to view things from their perspective as well. And that's ultimately feeding that third entity, that's the relationship. I hope that didn't confuse anybody, but that is what I'm feeling I needed to say, is what is happening with the Chariot. So you got that forward movement and you're going. You get the beautiful stars up in the sky, the seven sisters really wanting to bless you guys. Then we have the moon. And the cups in reverse. Then we have the ace of cups. So, I mean, again, ace of cups is absolutely beautiful. It's a new beginning. There is a new beginning, but I have to pull some energies on this Empress energy. But with the moon here, this is telling me that there's really getting in contact with the subconscious of what you really want, what you both really want, and what's necessary to move forward. But I just don't know if you're talking about it, as I feel like there's this lack of connection. There's this lack of sharing in the heart space. You know, but yet there's this new beginning. Now we have to be careful with this. We don't want to have like a false new beginning here, because then there won't end up being growth, right? The growth won't happen. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like there's some negative energies that need to be worked out here, right? Because we have this Knight of Swords coming in and really wanting to speak some truth. Then we have the Devil energy in reverse, which is about addressing imbalances within the relationship, but in a really good way. This is a very positive card in the reverse, because this is about wherever there have been imbalances, whether it's somebody dealing with some sort of alcoholism, addiction to drugs, addiction to food, any sort of, and that could go for anorexia, bulimia as well, because that can definitely impact personal relationships. Any sort of imbalances with money, having to do with gambling, sex addiction, whatever it is. It could also be addiction to negative thinking, addiction to fear of intimacy, anxiety, excessive depression where you're not getting any help. So any sort of imbalance like that, and that's coming to light. That is going to be illuminated and it's going to be discussed. So there's this idea of truth coming out, which is really, really good. Okay. And then we have, I don't think that guy belongs there. And then we have the Fool energy, which is all about taking a chance and throwing caution to the wind and moving forward, but I feel like these energies are going to be addressed, Any place where you were not giving your heart openly, where there was any sense of imbalance, this truth is going to be coming out for you guys to take this chance to move forward into this next cycle. So I do like that. Yeah, good. All right. So, but you're going to be going through it a little bit. I mean, there are these feelings of feeling very alone within the connection for a bit there. Or at least feeling misunderstood, because the Pentacle reverse energy is really, it's mental, physical, and emotional. So if you're not feeling emotionally connected to somebody, they may not be doing that maliciously. So that's where communication is super important in this energy. Playfulness, surrender, secret admirer. All right, well, I have to call it what it is. We had the Devil reverse. The Devil In the devil energy, there can be infidelity. It doesn't mean that it has to be that, but it can be that. So there might be discussion about some sort of secret admirer having been at play in the past. At least this third person in the energy field doesn't mean that they had actually acted on it, but maybe there was this idea of somebody from their past or somebody new that entered the scene. But let's pull some qualifiers. It's yeah. So, I mean, we have the secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. And then we have I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun flirting. Want to date. I mean, you want to get this in the single spread, not in the committed spread, okay? Because there's a newness to this vibe. There's a newness to this vibe. But I do feel that this could have been part of that devil energy that ends up coming to light. Is then we have surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. We have a hand of cards, taking a chance, risk, not showing the hand, gambling. Okay, so that's very much to that fool energy, right? That final outcome. And then we have playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together. Remember, love is the greatest healer. And this is about coffee cup, meeting up, conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and feeling the friendship. So it's getting back to the basics here. Just knowing that whatever happen. And you have to just surrender all of that so that you could start something new. For many of you, this is going to be what it is that you are dealing with. Now, I have to tell you what's coming in to me. Who else got something like this? I don't remember right now. This thing that comes to light, and this has to do with the public, something might be coming to light in the public that one of you was involved with somebody, or at least was entertaining the idea of being with somebody. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, but this is a general message, and I want to just give that interpretation as well, in addition to what I just gave. Absolutely. Now, for others of you, this could be that this is the past and this is what you guys are working through. And now you really have to focus in on what the important things are that matter in order to rebuild this. And you have to enjoy each other, invite people into your life, enjoy each other, go out, socialize, do things. That's going to really help to improve the foundation as you guys start this next cycle. But there's something here about that, a little bit of a third party thing. And guys, this could even be like one of you still being hooked, like, you know, still in the energy field of an ex-wife, an ex-husband, you know, an ex-partner, anything like that. All right, we're going to leave those out. All right, we're going to go right into Virgo singles. Virgo singles. Virgo singles. For those of you just tuning in, I'm using the vice versa deck. So if it comes out upside down, I'm going to turn it right side up because they do have images on both sides. So they are by design already reversed. Okay. Nice. And we have the Crowning Energy by Lenormand that I will talk about in a second. Let me just pull these cards. Okay. So, for those of you who are single, microscope the magnifying glass rather means seeing something that you did not see before. And this is all about being social, getting yourself out of the house, getting off the couch, out of the house. This can also indicate being social online. Okay, anywhere where there's like some sort of public connection. Okay, and this is a house having some sort of security foundation. So through something, you're realizing that there is something about what you're doing right now. You're keeping yourself held back, and you really need to identify some sort of little nugget that's going to be gifted to you, having to do with some sort of public outing, going online, doing something in the public, is really going to end up bringing you a very beautiful, firm foundation in a space that metaphorically feels like home. So it's good. Okay. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles. So for those of you not familiar with this, I'll just give this to you as an example here. You see that's the Seven of Pentacles in the upright, and this is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay? Upright and reverse. So this tells me that you're in a space of being really confused about how to do things differently in your life in order to move your life forward in relationship. Right, because this is a moon in Aquarius energy. So the moon is about getting in touch with your truth, your inner truth, and Aquarius ruled by Uranus is about doing things differently, right? It's about really tapping into the insight and emotions, and you just being like, you know, okay, well, you know what, I'm building and everything, I'm doing my thing, I'm trying to work things forward, trying to start this new cycle in my life, but you just struggling in the hardest way to figure out how to do things differently. That's going to end up bringing you a different result, because you absolutely know that if you keep doing the same thing that you were doing, you're going to end up with the same thing that you've been getting. And that's not something that you want, because you're coming from a space where you had to end a cycle. It was very heavy with this 10 of Wands, right? I mean, this is a Saturn and Sagittarius. This is like, I can't do this anymore, right? This is going against every fiber in your body, and you're just feeling really burnt out from this past situation that you had to deal with. And you're feeling burnt out, you know, really still, I feel like. Not in totality, but meaning having to do with relationships. But then look what we have crossing you. This is beautiful. It's the sun energy. This is the sun, and it is a sun energy. It's ruled by the sun, this card. So this is about everything. This is about being with the right person on the right path. And that's going to be very different for everyone, but it's what really speaks to your heart space, you being in that and having this cross you, because you're very confused right now. And I just feel like the energy that's crossing you is going to be this push to really want to make things different for yourself. You're just going to want to make things different for yourself. And then we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So you're in this space of not feeling like you feel like you're connected with anybody. But at the same time, I don't feel like you're really fully willing to actually give your heart to anybody in the way that you are willing to, because you don't have a lot of confidence that there's going to be this sense of temperance, right? Where there's going to be a recognition of what you need, and even a recognition of what they need, and you being able to have the gumption to even put that much of yourself into something, because there is this sense of burnout here. It's definitely the sense of burnout. Doesn't mean that you don't want to be with somebody. I feel like you absolutely do. And you're in a space of self-conflict. This is where you are right now. So this is for those of you who are single, right? So I really want to qualify that if you're arguing with somebody who's already in your energy field, I mean, I guess this might connect to you, but the first reading may have been a little bit more meant for you, all right? But the way I'm understanding this is you're having a sense of inner conflict here, right? And you're really trying to figure out how to move things forward in a way that makes your ego feel good, where you feel good about yourself, where you feel that passion and you feel all of that, but really being able to get what it is that you want. Because, Virgo, I feel like, you're ready to be like the center of things, right? That Saturn and Leo energy. You're ready to do the work, but you want to be appreciated. You want to be put front and center, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to be respected and appreciated. Now, the energy that's crossing you is the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And this is an energy where, because it's a reverse, there's this lack of forward movement. There's this lack of passion. You're just not feeling connected. In this way. You just don't feel like there's anything happening for you in the area where you're going to be able to really move forward. Now, your fear is the Two of Swords, feeling across purposes with yourself. So I'm getting that the fear here is your ability to make a decision between actually just staying single, because it is safe for being single. And isn't that sad? But it's true. I mean, you can't get your heart broken if you don't engage, right? The energy could say whatever it wants. It could say that you're going to meet the person of your dreams in the next 5 minutes. But if you don't engage, it's not going to happen. And then you don't have to run the risk of getting hurt. But that is really not sitting well with you because you really want to meet somebody. And that's your fear. Your fear is needing to make that decision. It's like pulling that final trigger is really the killer of it all. But the outcome energy is you moving away from this silly way of thinking. You're moving away from it. And I like this. As this is Mercury in Aquarius, this is communicating with yourself in a healthy way that, you know what, if I want different, I have to be different. If I don't want to be single, then I have to put myself out there. I have to put myself out there, right, with this public card. You have to do things differently. So I get that you guys are really pulling yourself out of that space. I like it out. I mean, the future here is the Six of Pentacles. I like this. This is a beautiful energy because it's about you being in a situation where you have somebody's back and they have yours. This is a Moon and Taurus energy, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. And this is to me, it's a very sort of like comfortable, but in a positive way, comfortable energy where you're just simply there for each other. You're just simply there for each other. I mean, that's just beautiful. Can we get some more information on what's happening here? How's the Six of Pentacles happening here? How's the Six of Pentacles happening? All right, well, I mean, you're still a little self-protected, but there's going to be this idea of victory, of success coming in. I mean, there's definitely this idea of success coming in, right? But then check this out. So this is strength, right? But then this is the reverse. All right, but I'm going to tell you what I like about this, the energy in this card. Look at her sitting with the lion, right? She's just sitting kind of like leaning on him, looking at this demonic energy, looking at her fear straight in the face, not allowing this to get the better of her. I mean, we have two elements of fear. This guy could just turn around and kill her in a second. This is her greatest fear, and she's just sitting there with the eternity symbol, a blessing over her head. So this is through facing fears, through facing any of these fears that you're having and getting this relationship together, it's going to end up bringing you victory with the Six of Wands. Even though you're going to be in a little bit of a space of self-defensiveness and all of that, it's going to be quiet, you're going to have what you need, and you're going to do what you need to do to get this relationship off the ground. So I do like that. Yep. So that ends up well. I mean, this is about facing your fears. You fear of, because I feel like, on the one hand, you want to be with somebody, but on the other hand, you really don't want to run the risk of dealing with all the nonsense that goes with relationship. But you don't want to die alone, but you don't want to deal with the nonsense. You want to be able to go on vacations with somebody, but you don't want to deal with the nonsense. It always comes back to that, right? Aware of what you're projecting for the qualities you admire in one another or qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. That's so true. I love when that card comes up because that is such a great piece of wisdom there. A lot of times the things that we identify that we don't like at somebody else are things that we actually possess in ourselves, and we just don't really want to look at that. And we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point in trying to change that which is beyond our control. And when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Yeah, so you have to love. Nice. I feel like I got the Phoenix for you guys once before. Okay, so we have Phoenix's new phase, rekindling, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. So for some of you, this can be somebody coming back from the way past. I don't feel like this is somebody in your recent energy field. And then we have here love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. And then we have abundance. Like this is that Sun card. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Gratitude and bliss. Yeah, so I feel like it's going to happen for you, but just make sure you stay open to allow it to happen. Yeah. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.